the Nice Guys on Business podcast. They had me at hello. Need an education on how to grow your business? The Nice Guys are here to help. Learn about great customer service, networking, and how just being nice can help you prosper. Now, here are your hosts, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Hey, Nice Guy community. Welcome back. Welcome back. My name is Strickland Bonner. On the other end of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler. And by the way, it is Doug Sandler's birthday today. Actually, yesterday, as of the airing of this. So if you didn't go to the Nice Guy community page on Sunday, which was yesterday, 12/4, and wish him a happy birthday, you missed it. You can do it today. So
I forgive everybody that didn't go over there. It is okay. Believe me, when you get to 117, I think that you get an official pass. And as a matter of fact, I'm beginning to not even receive birthdays in my life anymore. I take joy 365 days a year. One day specifically does not need to be spotlighted. So I'll take joy at any point of the year you want to give it to me. Thank you.
I'm curious. We should maybe put up a poll on the Nice Guys community. When do you stop counting? At what age do you stop counting? Like, thinking about how old you are. But
I think it's the same age that you stop having bowling parties. So when is that? Is that like 9?
I like bowling parties.
You still have them,
I still have them.
Oh, sorry. Well, we'll get into the full birthday conversation tomorrow's show, but today's show, phenomenal guest, Kute Blackson. You are the one. Kute what an amazing guy. If you have not ever heard, seen, or know anything about this dude, you've got to go over to YouTube and we'll put the links in the show notes, but just type in the words Kute, Kute, Blackson. You are the one. Amazing, amazing guy. He takes me through his spiritual journey, and you have some information about him too, don't you, Strick? Yeah,
well, it's important to say, like you might have heard Doug just say, you are the one, because it is you, period, are, period, the, period, one. That's his book. And he's an inspirational guy. I got to tell you, he'll get you fired up.
He has a huge life story that he shares on the podcast interview, and he talks about the importance of personal development into feeding your brain with positive information. He's been everywhere. He's been on Larry King. He's written a book. He's been all over the regular networks. He's been on cable networks. He's all over YouTube, many videos. So take a moment and check out some of the stuff there after you get done listening to today's interview.
Quite inspirational, really interesting guy. And Doug, we've not gone to the promise statement yet.
Yeah, we need to do that, don't we?
We do. And that would be the sound of Doug trying to stall while he pulls up the promise statement. But it's okay.
I had it right in front of me. I actually did have it in front.
Have or had?
No, I have it. I have it in front of me. See,
yeah?
I got so wrapped up in looking at Kute's picture and a bunch of the links that I just went to a different page on the show notes that I had. But here is the Nice Guys on Business promise statement. We are going to provide a learning experience that is entertaining and adds value to your life. We think we have been hitting the mark. You know why, Strick?
Why is that?
149 countries we have now been downloaded in all over the world. Some of them, yes, there's only one person in that country, but they're the ones to make the download. And I've actually been kind of happy with what's been going on. We are somewhere teetering between the number 3 and the number 4 position. We changed positions probably 3 or 4 times last week on Overcast. Still echoing on iTunes though, so we just don't know how to get there. So if you know anybody that has not had a chance yet to go over to iTunes and subscribe to the Nice Guys, could you let them know? Just subscribe, and if you haven't subscribed over on iTunes, just go ahead and do that. I know you're on Overcast. Well, we know that 93% of you are listening on Overcast. So for those of you that do, please just head over to iTunes and subscribe there. You would be doing us a great service and helping build the Nice Guy community over there as well.
It would help a lot. It really would help a lot. And use the Amazon.com link and help support the show. It doesn't cost you anything more. But whenever you do your Amazon shopping, if you use the link in the show notes, it gives us a little commission and helps support the show. And we appreciate it.
Hey, so Strick, I know you want to give me some shit tomorrow about the dialing for Doug on Wednesdays, and I'll give you more fuel that you can add to the fire here. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So you remember when I said I would schedule out every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday until eternity, until you were dead, because you always, every Wednesday, have between 5 and 6:30 available Eastern Standard Time.
Every single Wednesday between 5 and 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time I have available, except for the very second week that you're going to do it. I don't, I actually don't have anything on the schedule. The problem is I am going to be en route between New York and Baltimore, and without the ability to be able to speak on the phone because I can't disturb. I'm not allowed to. It's forbidden on my mode of transportation to be on a phone. I'm in a quiet car.
Forbidden to be on a phone. Okay, you're in a quiet car on the train, or like you could say, hey, you're on a plane. I mean, even if you're not, you could use that as an excuse.
Okay, I'm in a plane. That's an awful short plane ride, though, isn't it?
I don't know. Well, if you were on a plane during that window of time, nobody knows where you're going to or coming from. This is the theater of the mind. You don't have to.
Well, between my flights between Paris and London.
Right.
Right. I'm actually going to be traveling back home to Baltimore from New York, and the Vamoose bus that I'm riding on they don't let you on the phone.
The Vamoose bus. This is total transparency, ladies and gentlemen, nice guy community.
Let me tell you about this Vamoose bus, though, because this is a cool thing.
Well, maybe you should tell me tomorrow about it, because this is Blackson's intro. We shouldn't get off on a tangent on this one.
All right. I actually do want to talk about a very positive experience I had with a bus line, and I would not be normally a guy that would take a bus anywhere, but I have to tell you, I did it on one other occasion just because I was desperate and needed to get somewhere, and the train was ridiculous and the plane was just not happening. Yeah. So we'll talk about that tomorrow's show. But Vamoose Gold, holy shit! what a great way to transport yourself from one spot to another. So anyway,
we'll talk about that on your show tomorrow. It's a little teaser. Okay,
so just so everybody knows, so it is Monday. So Dialing for Doug Day is actually tonight between the hours of 5 and 6:30 p.m. 410-340-6861. Strick, we need to please make sure that you put the accurate phone number.
Did I not put the accurate phone number all week in the show notes last week?
No, it was perfect. You actually did it very well. So
it'd be so much easier to just do 4242 DJ Doug because, we remember, but we're not using that anymore. That one's dead. Don't ever call 4242 DJ Doug.
Stop.
In fact, if you do call, you'll get the FBI. We'll come to your house.
Okay, fine. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. Strick and I are not going to have an argument. Stacey Sherman, please do not let me and Strick have an argument about this again. Okay, let's get to our interview with Kute Blackson and talk about being the full you that you know how to be. So, Kute, let's take it away. I never thought I'd actually run into someone with more energy or excitement, but today's guest, Kute Blackson, is that times 10, believe it or not. A true believer in positivity, self-love, life, and liberation, spiritual leader, transformational coach, author, speaker, motivator, wow, and new friend of the Nice Guys on Business podcast and our community. Welcome to the show, Kute.
It's great to be here. I've been looking forward to it.
I was really excited when I first got your videos. I'm thinking, there is no way that anybody could possibly have this much energy all the time. And then I saw that you have like 300 videos and every video is the same level of energy and you're never down. How is that even possible, Kute?
Honestly, I'm filled with a mission and a sense of passion for what I do. And I felt that calling, that passion, that energy since I was a kid to inspire people and just help people reconnect to the power within them. And I felt that since literally age 5. And it was a burning desire I felt since then, and I felt it ever since. So I'm on fire with that, honestly.
You totally are. And now you talk a lot about that we all reach these crossroads, probably even on a daily basis, stepping outside of your comfort zone. I mean, but there's so much pressure to move on and so much fear to kind of stay put where we are. So can we talk about this uncharted territory about moving beyond where you are right now in life and moving on to this next step without having so much fear?
Yeah, I think one of the things is, we think we need to know what the next steps are. We think we need to know what the end goal is. We think we need to know and have the complete roadmap for our life purpose. And I believe that, the mind is always trying to strategize what to do, what not to do, where to go, where not to go. And it's constantly selling us so much fear. So I think if you're in a place where you don't quite know what to do, I believe that you actually don't need to know what to do in order to get to where you need to get to. And the first thing you need to do is really follow the impulse. Okay, maybe the impulse or the intuition is leave your job, or maybe the impulse or the intuition is go in a certain direction or do a particular thing. If you're not sure why, if you're not sure how, the first question that comes into our minds is, well, how is that going to happen? How will I make that happen? I don't have the resources.
Yeah.
The first step is say yes, acknowledge the authentic intuition and calling in your heart. And the second step is take a step. Take a step in the direction of your passion or intuition, because what I found is once you take that step, often once you've taken that step, the next step will reveal itself, and then the next step will then reveal itself after that. And to me, one's life purpose, one's evolution reveals itself in the process of living life itself. And so I think we have to be willing to, our degree of freedom is in relation to the degree to which we can embrace the unknown. And many times the mind thinks it knows, but coming from a spiritual background, I believe that the mind's vision is quite limited, but the soul is infinite because it's connected to everything. So I think we have to start learning to trust bigger than the mind. And I think when we do, life often works out way more than we could have imagined with our minds, with our limited capacity for our minds. So I think being an entrepreneur, living a fulfilled life actually requires a tremendous degree of trust. And even when we thought we knew what we were doing, if you look back on your life, many times we didn't really have a clue. We just thought we knew what we were doing. So I think we have to really navigate life with a sense of humility, with a sense of openness. If you look at a child isn't constantly trying to figure everything out. It's embracing the flower, and it's looking at the sun, and it's looking at the ant crawling, and it's just in such a wild state of curiosity, not just needing to know the answers to everything, but it's embracing the question. And I think to really live in that unknown zone is the possibility to embrace the question.
Okay, so you touched on a couple of concepts there, and I just want to spend just a moment talking about them, because you mentioned two words that are really important from an entrepreneurial spirit and from a business builder's perspective, and those words are curiosity and the word yes. So I just want to spend just a minute talking about that, because yes is a great word, but it can be so troublesome too, because it's freeing on one side, but it could be, hey, we have responsibilities. You can't, and I'm saying this just, again, I'm trying to be a realist and trying to put it into that's great for Kute because maybe X, Y, and Z are going on in his life right now, and he's able to say, yes, I'm going to leave my job. But I have bills. Shit, I got all this stuff going on in my life. I have a mortgage payment. I have, a new baby coming. I can't just on an impulse say yes. I want to say yes, but I can't. So can you share how is it that you can be curious? Oh, right. Sorry, you go ahead. I'll shut up. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. But I think what we often do is we feel a deeper sense of truth. See, one of the things that I've worked with thousands of people, billionaires, athletes, celebrities, business moguls. I mean, you name it, top salespeople in who are serious business folks. And I think one of the things I've seen that keeps us stuck as human beings are literally all the ways we lie to ourselves, all the ways we BS ourselves, all the ways we don't tell the truth to ourselves, all the ways that we rationalize and settle, and we kind of settle for mediocrity. I believe in life we get what we settle for. So so we often feel this inner sense of, yes, I'm moved to go in this direction. Yes, I'm moved to start this business. Yes, this is an impulse I need to follow. But because we go into the how, because we go into the mind, because we go into, well, I have to pay the bills, I have kids, all this, the circumstances of life, what we often don't do is we often don't acknowledge that we feel that. We often say, well, nah, I really love my job. As a compensation, as a protection mechanism. So I'm not saying leave your job right now if you have bills to pay, if you have a kid on the way. I'm not saying quit this second, although if that's what you're called to do, I believe follow your guidance. But that's what I'm not really saying do it this second. What I'm saying is, first and foremost, acknowledge the truth.
Oh, okay.
Acknowledge the truth in your heart, because what will start happening is you'll feel like, okay, I'm working a job that I hate. or it's not in alignment with who I am, or I'm called to go in a different direction. This is my truth. What I found is the truth will set you free. The truth will start burning you up. And when you feel the truth, it will start unlocking a whole nother level of inner resources within you that will assist you in trying to figure out the next step. So the truth will set you free. So we have to start feeling the truth. The question I ask people if they're in that position is, look, ask yourself, what are the lies I'm telling myself? What am I pretending to not know? What are the truths I'm not telling? What is it costing me to not acknowledge the truth and feel the pain? Because I think if we're willing to feel the pain of our no when we actually feel a yes, it starts burning something inside. It starts a process inside, and at least we can start moving in an authentic direction. And at least from that yes, we can start slowly, even if it's slowly. It might take us 2 years, it might take us 5 years, it might take us 3 years, but at least we're not in denial of the deeper truth that we're feeling. And I say, look, what is the fear what is it you're afraid of by actually acknowledging your yes, by acknowledging the truth? What is it that you're most afraid of? Because many times when you can face that and acknowledge that, we often realize that the thing we're most afraid of, it may never happen. So we often blow things way out of proportion.
Yeah.
I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to be bankrupt. And I'm not saying they couldn't happen, but most of the things, 80, 90% of things never happen. And the last thing I'll say is, if you're in that position where you feel an intuition, really sit with what amazing thing might happen. What's the possibility? Because sometimes we so focus on the negative and all the things that might go wrong that we forget the possibility and what's available for us if we were actually to dare to be bold with our knowing.
For sure. And everything that you're about, and everything that I see and watch, and all the talks that you've been in and a part of, it's all really about taking action. I think that really is a part of the key to it all, is to stop waiting for signals and start moving now. Can you give the Nice Guy community an action step, something that they can, even before they're finished listening to this interview, they can say, okay, at the end of this episode, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this step in order to follow some. I want to see if what Kute is saying is even possible for me. I know that it is possible because I think anything is possible when we have we're limitless. But can you give me an action step that somebody can take that can help them move beyond where they are right now if they're not satisfied with where their life is?
I think one of the most powerful action steps is connected to what I said, which was look at where you're lying. Look at all the places you're lying to yourself. Look at write down everywhere you are lying, BSing, not telling the truth, pretending to not know, fibbing to yourself. Make a list of it. And actually, once you're done with this conversation, at least one, I would say, the whole thing, but at least go and speak one truth. Maybe there's a conversation you need to have with a business partner. Maybe there's a conversation you need to have with your spouse. Maybe there's some specific action that you need to take to rectify that lie. I believe that, the only way to live a fulfilled, authentic, great life is to live in alignment with your truth, to live in alignment with your authentic knowing. So I would say one step that everyone should take is look at where you're lying.
All right, Nice Guy community, get that list out, get that piece of paper out, and that pencil or that pen, a pen, because that's permanent. I love that. I love the idea of just taking the lies that you've been telling yourself. And I think, I've used that word a couple of times in over the episodes. And then as I listen back, I think, boy, that is such a harsh word. But come on, people, this is what we do to ourselves every day. We can't go beyond where we are right now because of the fears that we have and the things that we're telling. We're going to fail. Dan Harris, who was on our show many, many moons ago as a broadcaster, he had said, and creator of the 10% Happiness app, he had said he's going to end up in a flop house in Duluth. I mean, it's just you're not going to end up on the street. You're not going to be homeless. If you're listening to this show, you already are advantaged in that you have listened probably to 200 freaking episodes of us saying you can be passionate about the things that are true in your heart and you can go for it and don't have any. That fear is just, it holds us all back. That's 6 inches between our ears. Tell us about a little bit about your background, because I know part of your background from West Africa, from London, the stage, your calling. How did you get to be where you are right now?
Yeah, I was born in Ghana, West Africa. My father's from Ghana. My mother's Japanese. I grew up in London, which is where I was just the other day. And, I always felt a deep calling to, as I mentioned, to serve humanity. And I can't really share my background without sharing something that really impacted me so deeply as a young boy. I remember being age 5, age 6, and I was a chubby kid lost in the crowd. And I'll never forget, literally seeing this crippled woman crawling on the floor, and she was crippled and she couldn't walk, and hands and legs all mangled, and she picked up the sand that this man walked on, wiped it on her face, and stood up. This was a huge impact in my life because I saw the sense of like all possibilities, nothing was impossible. And this woman literally picked up the sand this guy walked on, wiped it on her face, stood up. You could call it a miracle. Week after week after week, from probably 8 to close to 18 years old, I grew up seeing the same man whose sand she picked up look at a woman in a wheelchair and say, "Why are you sick? Stand up." And another miracle would happen. Or look at a person with crutches and say, "Throw your crutches away." So this man was my father. My father built about 300 churches in Ghana, West Africa. She had a huge church in London. And, from age 8, I started speaking in my father's churches. From 14, I was ordained as a minister, given a mandate to actually take over his organization. He had, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers in Ghana, West Africa. But honestly, I knew when it was announced that I was going to take over my father's churches, I knew that that wasn't my path. I knew, you talk about the truth, I have this sinking feeling, this knowing in my heart, this isn't what I'm supposed to do. This is not my destiny. But my life was set out for me. My father had my life set out. Hundreds of thousands of people had their hopes pinned on me. And the truth was, I didn't want to lose my father's love. I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to fit in. I didn't want to rock the boat of the community. So I kind of, I lived in fear. I went along with it. Being a teenage kid, I went along with it and said nothing. And 4 years later, I knew I had to speak the truth. And I came to a crossroads where I felt as though I could follow the expected path and make everyone else happy. And I realized I was literally living someone else's life. And if I followed the expected path, I literally felt as though I was going to die. My soul was dying. And I might be successful by everyone else's standards, but if I didn't have myself, then I realized, well, what's the point of having all this, you could say, worldly success, but not having my own soul, not having my own integrity, not having my own happiness? And so I followed the path of the unknown and decided to tell the truth. And that's where kind of some of these ideas came from. Decided to tell the truth and realized nothing was worth my happiness. Nothing, no amount of money, no amount of external validation, fame, what have you. Nothing was worth my happiness, and no one was worth my happiness. And so I had the conversation with my father, which was very difficult, and left everything, was outcast. We didn't speak for many years. But I believe that when we really follow our hearts, and this is why I'm not just saying, hey, follow your heart, live your truth. But I believe when we really follow our hearts, when we really follow our truth that is based in a deeper knowing, not just a superficial, momentary emotion or whim, but something deeper than that, when we follow that, then life, the universe, whatever you want to call it, supports us in the fulfillment of that vision. And so I ended up winning a green card in the lottery, came to the US, 2 suitcases, $1,000 in my pocket, 1 suitcase full of clothes, 1 suitcase full of books and tapes of seminars, people like Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, some of the motivational gurus, and came because I wanted to find these people and learn from these people. And I had nothing. I had no resources. Literally, the first days were very challenging. And that's how I began. I went and found many of these folks, studied with many of these esteemed folks, when I met many healers, teachers, you could say wise men, and traveled the world. Went to India, went to Thailand, went to Israel, studied with rabbis, went to Thailand, studied with monks, went to Japan, studied Zen. And it was really all in the quest of just trying to understand who am I and why are we here? What's the purpose of life? What's the point of this whole thing? Is it just to go to work, wake up, have sex, make money, go on vacation, buy a house, and then die? Or surely, there is more to life than this. What is this whole thing? What is this game called life? And that was been my life's passion and quest, and ever since.
Wow! How great a past. And so I got to ask you, because I'm sure that you kind of left it hanging out there. How was the relationship between you and your dad? Is your dad still living?
My dad is still alive, and it took many years for my father and I to get close. We didn't speak for probably two and a half or so years. Very challenging for me because I loved my father. At least in my which young boy doesn't want the love and validation of his father? Even if he says he doesn't. And so it was very difficult. I won't deny it. Sometimes we have this idea that when we follow our purpose, when we're on purpose, when we're really following our heart, it's going to be easy. That the angels will appear and everything's going to flow. I think that sometimes when we actually follow our truth, when we actually follow our deeper purpose in life sometimes gets more challenging. Life gets more challenging sometimes, I believe, because we're given experiences, tests, challenges. We're put in environments where we face situations that actually are sent to test us to actually prepare us. It's kind of like we're sent experiences that serve as the dumbbells for our soul, the dumbbells for our mind, to actually prepare us to be able to have the strength and the character to be able to fulfill our destiny and our purpose in life. And so I faced many challenges, and it was really, really very, very difficult with my father. But what was beautiful was many years later, he came around and I think developed a level of respect for me. But what was great for me was it wasn't based on me having to live up to someone else or be someone that I wasn't in order to get his love. It was really based on me truly living my authenticity, living my heart without compromising my truth. And our relationship was based on something real rather than something fake. And I think that was very gratifying for me.
In Nice Guy Community, there is we'll put a link in the show notes. There is a lot of videos that Kute has out there on YouTube. He has a book right now called You Are the One, and I love it because every word is finished with a period. So you can actually see him saying this, and if you've watched even one of his videos, you can see him saying seeing the title. Really, really great energy and conviction. I know, Kute, that you're really passionate about your purpose. Do you ever get discouraged? There's so much work to do.
Yeah, do I ever get I can't say I get discouraged because I feel as though I'm in alignment. I can't say I get discouraged because I feel like I'm on purpose. I'm on path. There's nothing else I would rather be doing. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. The way I see it is I believe that our purpose and our destiny, it chooses it actually. We think we choose it. Yeah. It chooses us. Yeah. And it chooses us because we are the perfect people. Even if we think we're not qualified, we are the perfect people based on our experience, our traumas, our successes, our ups, our downs, everything, our quirks, everything makes us the perfect person to fulfill the vision that we have. And we've been given the vision because of that. And so other people may not see that vision. So I've always felt as though I followed that vision, and what I made peace with was, if the vision has chosen me, it must be for a reason. And if the vision has chosen me, it actually doesn't belong to me. And this is what's really helped me in challenging times, right? It doesn't. If it's chosen me, then it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to life. If it belongs to life, the universe, whatever label you want to put on it, then the dream and the vision has its own intelligence, and inherent in the dream and the vision is also the intelligence for its fulfillment. So if it doesn't belong to me, it belongs to life, then all I have to do really, and this is where the shift happened for me, all I have to do is show up, say yes, show up, and do the best that I can do. Because if it's not mine, then then I am just a vessel. I am just a vehicle for the fulfillment of the dream and the vision. Yeah, I do need to work. Yes, I do need to strategize. Yes, I do need to, get into action. But the ultimate result, so long as I do my best, it's life's vision, and I'm just here to fulfill life's vision. I look at the great ones like, a Gandhi or a Mother Teresa or a Mandela, or a Martin Luther King. They were possessed by a vision that was bigger than themselves, and that vision used them. That vision expressed through them. So whether I think you have a business or an idea or organization, I think so long as your job is to be in alignment with the vision, to be obedient to the vision, say yes to the vision, let the vision lead you, and do the best that you can. And I think each day what gives me inspiration is I make sure I simply do the best that I can do. And I don't focus on all the things that I can't control, because if I focus on all the things that I couldn't control, I would not only be in suffering, it would drive me crazy, and then I would get easily discouraged. So I focus on all the things that I can control and do the best I can do, and that keeps me going.
You are a big believer in the universe, it sounds like, and in this this higher energy that comes from somewhere, and that's really incredible. And I love that, because it really helps us to stay in control of the stuff that's going on in our life if we can put it on this outside energy. And I love that. Help me for a second. I'm gonna go through this, and I'm really curious about some of your answers here. I have this this rapid fire round. I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and literally, I know that you probably very similar to me. You're a talker. I know you like to give a full answer to the question, but I'm only going to give you 15 to 20 seconds.
I'll do my best.
Each one. I know you will, and I'm not going to interrupt you. So I'm just going to I'm going to let you go if you go, but I'm hoping we can stay in the rapid fire round here. All right. Okay. So some of these are going to be very telling, and I apologize. I'm not going to apologize. These are good questions. I like these questions because it tells everybody where we all stand. Okay. So be relatable. What do you suck at?
What do I suck at? I'm not very patient.
That's good. That's really good.
I'm not, honestly, that's like, I just hate waiting. I'm not patient. That is an honest confession. I'm terrible patient.
That's good. That's good. Be transparent. In the beginning, how did you pay your bills when you first got going?
In the beginning, I swept floors. I washed dishes in restaurants, and I stole bread and food from supermarkets.
Okay. Be confident. What do you do as an entrepreneur, because you own a business, as good as it gets?
Well, I am... My gift, I think that drives everything, is my ability to communicate. That is my gift. I mean, there's other things I do, but if there was one thing, it's my ability to communicate, whether it's on stage, whether it's with clients, whether it's through video. It's my ability to communicate.
Okay. Be humble. What experts did you need to call upon to make shit happen? Again, in the beginning or anywhere along the way?
Let's see. Let me just see. In the beginning, when I first started, when I first started my career, it was, I have to credit people like, Marianne Williamson and Deepak Chopra and Tony Robbins and Brian Tracy and Zig Ziglar and Jim Rohn and, many of those folks in the beginning that I learned from and studied from, and even people like J. Krishnamurti, who was an Indian mystic, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who was a founder of TM, and Osho, who was also another Indian spiritual teacher. They impacted my awareness, in terms of personal growth, which is really what I'm about, greatly. So I have to give, some of those folks some credit, even though they're not my teachers today.
Of course, we all have to give credit, and those are excellent resources to give credit to. Final one: be realistic. Where are you going to be in 90 days, and how far into the future can you see?
Where will I be in 90 days? Well, I'm traveling a tremendous amount these 90 days. I'm on my way to. I'll be in India. December. I'm in Bali. I'll be in London. Where else? Wow. I see my book reaching many more people around the world. We're selling the rights to my You Are the One book to several countries. So hopefully 90 days we'll have secured 4 or 5 more countries. I can see probably, if I'm honest, most of the trajectory of my life.
Wow.
And, at least most of it. I mean, obviously, it probably will be different than what I see, but I have a sense of where it's going, and it's unfolding in beautiful ways. Somewhat different, but I have to say that the underlying essence of how it's unfolding is in sync with the vision I've seen since I was a child.
Beautifully said. Do you have time for 1 or 2 personal questions, and then we'll conclude here and let the nice guy community finally get out of their car and go into their office?
Absolutely.
Do you have your cell phone anywhere near you?
Yes.
Excellent. Do you have an iPhone or something inferior?
iPhone.
Okay, great. And go to your picture app for a moment and tell us the last photo that you took in your pictures.
The last photo I took. is a picture. Is a picture of the dish that I ate at Heathrow Airport yesterday.
Oh, excellent. So you're very similar to a 14-year-old girl then.
Yeah, which was shakshuka, which is the Middle Eastern dish.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I have to. I don't even know what that is. Say that again. What is it?
Shakshuka. The Israelis will know.
Oh, interesting. I'm Jewish. I would figure I would even have heard of that dish. I've never even.
Come on, that's definitely. You should have heard of that dish.
I should have. Now I have to go look it up. And,
I am more Jewish than you are, my friend.
There is probably no doubt about that. Hey, there was a show that we had about 2 weeks ago. Actually, by the time this airs, it was probably about a month and a half ago. On my religion, and I just where I fall into the world of Judaism and my beliefs. So, Nice Guy Community. If you don't know where that is, just look up in the show notes. Doug is Jewish, and you will find it out. And go to your texting app for a second. What was the last text message that you sent and received?
Wow, getting personal.
Yeah,
let's see. From one of my dearest friends. She's like a sister to me. She just wished me good morning. She's traveling. And said, have some great interviews today. That's what she said.
Yes. Oh, she said that. I thought you said it. And you're
said,
like, okay.
What did I say? I said, yeah, it was just she was the last person I had an exchange with. So
excellent. Well, all of the information that Kute has gone over, including his website and his YouTube videos and his book, will all be in the show notes. Thank you so much, Kute, for your time and for being a part of the show today.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Nice Guy Community, never underestimate the power of nice. Again, special thanks to our guest, Kute Blackson, for being on the show today. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Fill up your week with the Nice Guys. That's their story, and they're sticking to it.